PERA member. We are writing to you as friends and neighbors in Colorado to tell you how your pension fund is making investments that are threatening the health and the safety of our beautiful state.
You are one of over 620,000 current and former public employees that benefit from the Colorado Pension Plan, PERA, a $52 billion pool of money that invests your retirement savings all over the world.
You might be surprised to learn that PERA has been investing your savings in ways that pollute our air and water, harm the health of our children, and even influence our elections to benefit the oil industry. PERA holds investments in multiple fossil fuel companies that are forcing a massive expansion of fracking for oil and gas all over Colorado, near our homes, schools, parks, and protected lands.
Across our state, communities are experiencing dangerous consequences from this expansion of oil and gas drilling. Oil and gas production in Colorado has led to poor air quality that consistently fails to meet federal standards. In fact, the American Lung Association has given most of the Front Range a consistent F-grade air quality rating. This is especially unacceptable during a respiratory health pandemic. Research has shown that breathing polluted air makes people more susceptible to complications and death from COVID-19.
People across Colorado have suffered from nausea, nosebleeds, headaches due to nearby fracking. There is an unusual uptick in health problems like asthma, childhood leukemia, and low birth weight babies near drilling sites.
Residents have filed complaints about toxic fumes, leaks, loud industrial noises, and earthquakes.
In Weld County, Colorado's fracking hotspot, there has been an alarming increase in seismic activity where there were never earthquakes before. Seismic activity has been directly linked to fracking development.
There have also been over 100 fires and explosions at oil and gas sites all over Colorado. For example, in 2017, 2 people in Firestone were killed when their house exploded due to a natural gas leak from a local drilling site.
PERA's investments include oil and gas companies like Suncor and Extractions, who have both come under fire for emitting toxic pollutions dangerously close to homes and schools. In Commerce City, my home, the Suncor oil refinery is facing a $9 million settlement for repeatedly violating air quality regulations by filling the air with dangerous pollutants like sulfur dioxide, hydrogen sulfide, nitrogen oxides, carbon monoxides, and even hydrogen cyanide. These air quality violations have caused a variety of health problems for nearby residents, including asthma, cancer, and heart and lung complications. The areas most affected by Suncor's pollutions are low-income communities and communities of color from environmental racism.
In Greeley, Extraction Oil and Gas is operating a fracking site right here, less than 700 feet from the playground at Bel Romero Academy, exposing school children to dangerous levels of benzene. Short-term benzene exposure can lead to headaches, nosebleeds, dizziness, tremors, and unconsciousness, while long-term exposures increase the risk of leukemia, reproductive harm, and birth complications. While fracking has had consequences in our local health and environment, it is also the leading cause of global warming. Research from NASA, Cornell, and Harvard show that there has been a global spike in methane over the last decade that is largely due to fracking in the U.S. In the first 2 decades after its release, methane is 84 times more potent than carbon dioxide.
Cornell research warns that shale gas production in North America alone over the past decade may have contributed more than half of all the increased emissions from fossil fuels globally. And we are already feeling the effects of global warming here in our state.
Colorado is experiencing one of the driest years on record. A quarter of the state is in extreme droughts, and we have 4 fires that have collectively burned over 175,000 acres of beautiful wildland.
In many parts of Colorado, melting snow runoff is half of what it normally is, and we are experiencing much longer fire season than usual. Since ecosystems need water to regenerate, our increasing drought conditions make it much less likely that our fire-burned forests will cover as well as they once did. In addition to harming our own communities, evidence is increasingly showing that fossil fuels are just a bad investment. Fossil fuel investments are already underperforming, and there is no reason to expect this trend to change. A 2019 study shows that PERA lost $1.7 billion by not divesting from fossil fuels 10 years ago.
Bankruptcies of U.S. oil and gas companies have escalated dramatically in recent years. In 2020 alone, there have been 44 bankruptcy filings by the U.S. oil and gas sector, totaling $55 billion in debt. Colorado ranks the 5th highest state in the U.S. for number of bankruptcy filings by the oil and gas industry since 2015.
Fracking companies everywhere are losing money. Local resistance to their operations is springing up all over. And the global fight to tackle climate change and cut carbon pollution will accelerate the decline of oil and gas.
We, your friends and neighbors, are calling you as a PERA member to contact the PERA board and let them know that you do not want your pension investing in fossil fuel projects that harm our state.
Join the Fossil Free PERA Coalition at www.fossilfreecopera.org to learn more about how PERA investments threaten our communities. And last but not least, share this video and spread the word.
Thank you for taking a stand to protect our communities and environment.